Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the 10-Minute Marvel Podcast. Today we're just over a week out from Daredevil Born Again Season 2. So we're going to give our thoughts, our hopes, our dreams, our greatest desires for that show on this episode of the podcast, as well as, of course, news and rumors. My greatest desire is to have a better co-host. I'm Petter, and the co-host I have.
Well, it's the best you get at this point. It's Greg, everybody. I desire, I don't know, to have a beard like Petter, because man, it's spectacular. Yes, as he
Thank you.
strokes his beard. Yeah.
Thank you. It's stroking the beard is great for an audio medium.
Yeah. It needs to be a little bit more coarse so people can hear it. Get into
Well, I
that
was going to
microphone.
say the only thing that's better for an audio medium would be if I rubbed my beard against the microphone.
Yeah, no, that's what I want. That's what
Yeah,
and also I have some beard oil. So
so
that
do
is,
I.
oh, do you?
hmm
Oh, well,
Beard oil,
sweet.
beard balm, beard comb. Welcome to Talking Beards with Petter and Greg.
It's yeah, it's a little sidetrack part of our podcast. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's do that thing we call the intro, shall we? The
Sure,
thing that I do all the time. Okay.
go
If you're
for
looking
it.
for ways to support us, you can find us on our YouTube channel. Search 10 Minute Marvel, everybody. Give us a like and thumb, smash that subscribe button. That's always appreciated. Find and follow us on Facebook and that other thing with the next hashtag 10 Min Marvel there. Hashtag 10 Min Marvel. And of course, you can leave a review wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcast from. Petter, I know this is just the beard talking, but I heard you're going to be you're doing news first. Am I right? Am I right or am I right or am I right?
You're 100% right today, Greg. We're kicking it off here with rumors. It's rumored that She-Hulk is going to be part of Sam Wilson's Avengers team. This comes from a completely unknown source. So, what do you think the likelihood of this is? Is it higher than 2%?
No, it is.
Okay.
It's coming in at a good 1.7%.
That's actually that's a better line than I would have given it, but
Well, I mean, there's a 5% chance of error usually in statistics, right? So
yeah.
I had to get kind of close to that. I don't think this is a thing because Tatiana Maslany has really not come up anywhere in the news, and I don't know. It just doesn't feel like I'd be great. I'd love
Why?
it.
Yeah. Like she hasn't come up anywhere in the news. She hasn't come up in the rumors for Doomsday.
Not a chair.
Not a chair. No, like, oh, she's filming something. She's not somebody that you would have film a super secret scene, like it's rumored with Doctor Strange or something like that. You would just announce her if she was going to be in there.
Can she? I mean, with what they have from She-Hulk, the first season, maybe the
hmm
only, can
The
they
only season.
use that? Yeah. Can they use that CGI? Do they need her for like the motion capture stuff, or can they just go with what they got? And
I mean, that's assuming that she's only ever in She-Hulk form.
right, which I mean, I guess she'd have to release I don't know.
I mean, they would have to have her in to record lines for sure. I'm assuming at least like the facial capture is her.
Right.
Probably not. So she would have to be in for multiple things. I don't think they would just be like, let's reuse the facial capture we got and try and just make it match.
I don't know. Run it through AI could probably do it, but
hmm
I'm sure she'd also have to. Does she have any control over that? Does she have any say? I wonder if
Yeah,
there's what the legal part of that is.
yeah, I mean, I would think that at least to some extent there is some say in that, and for sure she would still be getting paid because it's not like it's AI. It's not like it's okay, we're just creating something from nothing. They're using her
Well, it's her
likeness
voice too.
and her voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mick Giacchino, who is the son of Michael Giacchino, who did Werewolf by Night, is rumored to be doing the score for Vision Quest. He did the score for Penguin as well.
Hmm.
Runs in the family, apparently.
Guess so. Nice.
Yeah. This one has also popped up before, but I have never talked about it. We're just kind of light on news and rumors this week, so I was like, oh, let's toss it in. But the Young Avengers are champions are going to be in Doomsday, and they're going to take on Doom, potentially even driving him back or winning their fight to some extent.
Hmm.
What do you think the likelihood of this is? More or less likely than Tatiana Maslany returning as She-Hulk?
Huh. I mean, more. I'll just say that now. Um, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think what that group, the champions, Young Avengers. Wait, Young Avengers. You said right?
I mean, it's
Not New Avengers. Not the New
Young
Avengers.
Avengers. Yeah, Young
Okay.
Avengers slash champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know how that would work. I mean, you got Wiccan.
Hmm.
They could do some, but he's so new to everything. I feel
Right.
like.
And theoretically, you have Wiccan. At this point in time, what is that team even gonna look like? There's so
Right.
many characters that you have to confirm or introduce that it just doesn't. Honestly, I think there's a better chance of Tatiana Maslany returning as She-Hulk and being part of Sam Wilson's Avengers team than us having a big, like, hey, this is the Young Avengers team show up in this movie.
I mean, the only way I could think that would work is if they did do a Children's Crusade and they did go find Wanda and brought her back. And but that's
That's a lot for
so
that film,
that's
and
yeah. Yeah. I don't
like
know.
I love the idea. I think that that's a perfect show for the like a first season of something, especially with the introduction of Speed, Tommy, um,
Wick
in
Wiccan.
Vision Quest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Yeah.
and Wiccan already like that's a great first kind of mission for them, but
Not in Vision Quest though.
not in Vision Quest, like in a the first Young Avengers or Champions season
Sure.
of a show. Like
Yeah.
that's a great thing.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. And also, how do they compare to Doom? Like,
Hmm.
I don't.
I mean, Wiccan, sure. Wiccan and Doom, you can have a magic off. How does
Miss
Miss
Marvel?
Marvel, I mean, Kate Bishop,
Yeah, she's got nothing. Riri?
e yeah, Riri, Eli Bradley literally has nothing at this point in time.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm feeling I'll say 1.8%.
So you're saying slightly more likely.
Slightly more likely because I feel like they should show up in one of these next two movies. So that's where the more likely comes into play.
Yeah. I I do think bringing those characters in to especially to Secret Wars, I get it. But Doomsday just feels too, I don't know, specific. Too much of a we have an idea of what their plan is sort of thing. But let's move on to the news. I only have three pieces of news here, but I do want to speculate a little bit on this first piece. Marvel is having, and Disney is having their investors call this Wednesday. Do you think that there's going to be any announcements, information released on anything, talking about anything, maybe giving dates, more specific dates for anything from this call? They've
Hmm,
definitely done a little bit of stuff before on these calls.
I don't even know anymore, honestly. Uh, it's just been such a lack of information lately. Besides like the status quo of trailer times being released or whatever
Yep.
announcements here and there. I don't know. I honestly, I can't even predict whether they're going to do anything this time around. What do you think?
I could see maybe some of the shows that don't have dates for them yet, like whatever's coming after uh Daredevil Born Again. So I think that's X-Men 97 season
Yeah,
2. I think they could give that a date for that, maybe give the Punisher special presentation an official date.
yeah.
Um
We're not going to see a third or that in between movie. That's not going to be, well,
that's I don't
didn't we
think
say that if they were going to do that, they would have to like start, like it's got to be close if they're going to start filming that?
right. If they're going to announce something like that and they have managed to keep wraps on it that well, or maybe it is something where they're looking at it and going, we're going to film it at the same time as Secret Wars. And then but even that's makes the timeline real tight. That's like a true just over a year or maybe a year turnaround for
Mhm.
that. Unless now that's all with the speculation that that would be a summer release, kind of that July release like Spider-Man Brand New Day. Oh yes, it is. In 2027. It could be a November release. And then if they film it at the same time as Secret Wars, you have more time. So,
Well, if it's November, well, yeah, I guess. So
mhm.
it would be Doomsday, which is December this year.
Yeah.
And you're
And
thinking November-ish, well, just for the sake of
yeah,
argument.
yeah.
Um,
And then
but
December.
then December, yeah, I mean, that's like right back to back. Has that
Yeah.
ever been done?
Um,
We've never really seen that.
not for Marvel. Uh,
So like the Doctor Strange could, the third Doctor Strange. I
yes, third
never,
Doctor Strange.
I never remember whether there's two or three for some reason. Um, that's, I don't know. Um,
I don't think
I
it's likely,
I would expect
but
it to be a July kind of thing, a blockbuster
same.
style thing.
I would think so too, but the only example I can think of with something that has had a very close release, and I think that this is even closer than what that was Pirates of the Caribbean 2 and 3.
Mm,
Those were a few months apart, so definitely further apart than this, but
I
not your
mean,
normal
yeah,
release.
hopefully it doesn't, hopefully it's not like that. If that Pirates of the
Yeah,
Caribbean 2 and 3 were, in my
Pir-
opinion, pretty weak
Pirates of the
compared to that
Caribbean.
first one.
Yeah, compared to the first one, I agree they aren't as good. If you watch them together as a single film, it's better because the second one in particular, this is a soapbox I've been on before with trilogies, is it doesn't have a resolution to it. It's
Yeah.
just all set up for the third one. So if you just take it as a single film, it works better. Which, if Doctor Strange is going to primarily be set up for Secret Wars, keep them close together. Like, don't give people a ton of time to be like, well, that was weird. That wasn't that good. Do we really want to go see Secret Wars?
Well, also, I mean, you got to have like Secret Wars in the bag at that point. It's got to be done, or
Yeah.
otherwise you have two different teams working on them.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's two, and that's a huge. Maybe this is just me being ignorant to how things work in Hollywood, but like it just seems like that is two huge movies getting kind of finished up and
Oh, yeah. No, that's a
the
lot
post-production stuff
for.
all very close in time. So
Hmm.
to and to make it work, I guess, and to make it look good, like it's got to be really good.
Hmm.
It can't
Right.
She-Hulk it or
Right. And that's the
or
problem with like just even there being a secret movie or being something they announce between the two is Secret Wars should take a ton of resources for those post-production things, for the team that Marvel has, for the CGI and everything. So they're going to need a lot of time, which means you kind of want to do something that doesn't need a ton of that if you're going to do that. And Doctor Strange or multiversal stuff is not one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, that's light on CGI.
yeah. I don't know what they like what could fall into that position. It's not Fantastic
Nothing.
Four. It's Shang-Chi, no.
I mean, Shang-Chi is a little bit easier to do if you make it mainly hand-to-hand martial arts,
Sure.
but
If you pull a
that's
dragon in again, it's a whole nother.
yeah, Ball of Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that investor call is happening. If there's anything interesting, obviously we'll talk about it. But there is potential for something interesting on Wednesday anyways. It's rumored that Wednesday at 7:05 Eastern time, so real early for us, Greg. We're gonna have to wake up before we want to
Mm,
on Wednesday. That's when the Spider-Man Brand New Day, oh yes it is, trailer is going to come out. Now, this is the exact timing, I will say, is not confirmed, so put that as a rumor. But it does seem that we are going to be getting it this week, and some of this again is confirmed by the Korean Film Board having approved the trailer to run. And Yeah, finally, we'll be getting Spider-Man Brand New Day.
So with nothing though, right? There's nothing that's happening on Wednesday.
I mean, the Disney investor call,
Okay.
but I think this more ties into there's probably the advanced screenings of Project Hail Mary on Thursday. And so they're just releasing it online a little bit before that. And then if you wanted to see it on the big screen, it's going to be going with Project Hail Mary.
It's not with the Chipotle USA Hockey High School National Championships. You don't think that they're releasing it for that? Or the line dancing competition?
I
That's,
mean,
that's happening at the Blue Saloon, everybody.
no,
And they're gonna
no.
sh I just had to look
Is
up what's happening this Wednesday.
is that is Wednesday the first day of the NCAA tourney?
I hope not because my bracket's not ready.
Well, I mean, it starts this week, right?
It is you're right. I think well they have
Is it the playing games on Wednesday?
I think they have to this what the 18th seed and 11th seed and some of those have to play, which I think is
Yes.
tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow for those? I don't even know, but
Yeah.
there might
But
be some tourney stuff going on at that point in time,
but
but that's not big enough that
no.
it's tied to that.
I think you're right. I think you said this last week. We are getting this trailer and it'll be out and then boom, it leads right in with Project Hail Mary. They'll have it obviously for people to see as a trailer
Yep.
for that. So,
Yes.
which I think I'm really gonna try and go see that movie.
Nice. Yeah, I have some coworkers who were talking about it today. They're reading the book and then gonna go see it. And I'm like, man, I should read the book. Anyways.
I I think Voss said that you don't need to, and it's okay if you don't because they do a well enough job.
Yeah. I'm just more apt to read the book in the near future than I am to go see the movie. I'll probably wait until I can get that streaming somewhere.
Yeah, no, read the book. It's great.
The final piece of news is that the Daredevil Born Again podcast starts tomorrow on Disney Plus. So Vincent D'Onofrio, Charlie Cox, talking about Daredevil, Kingpin, probably the making of the show. I don't know if it's anything more than just one episode of a podcast. If it's just one episode, is it really a podcast?
I was thinking, like, it seems to be the hot thing with movies as they do, or shows like podcasts. You got The Pit, it's
Yeah.
got a podcast. You got all these, which is great. And for those that just get that are huge fans of the show or movie. But
Yeah.
yeah, how many, I can maybe see them squeak out, I don't know, 3 to 4 episodes because you'll have
Yeah.
Christian
Yeah.
Ritter maybe show up or something like that. But yeah, other than that,
And then, yeah, you have like a couple during the one before the season, a couple during the season, and one after the season.
mhm. They still
Yeah.
probably have more listeners than we do, though, probably. It's just
Yeah. I
my
mean,
guess.
we're not on Disney Plus, and we're not going to be on the homepage of
Uh,
Disney Plus being advertised. So
fair.
that's it for the news. But let's continue talking about Daredevil Born Again. And sometimes we go through and kind of recap or talk about what we've heard is going to be happening in this. But I want to kind of just ask a few different questions around this. First off, Greg, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
Honestly, like I don't have the level of excitement like I did. What was the last show we watched? What was that?
Wonder Man.
I almost was more, I don't know. I might have been a little bit more excited for Wonder Man, and I don't
I
know.
was.
And so this one, I have a feeling I need to just watch this. And then if there's a season three, I may have a very different anticipation level. Because I'm just kind of curious how they do this
Well, there
season.
and there is going to be a season 3.
Yeah. So, but season two's got to kind of prove it to me first that it's a little bit more
Hmm.
cohesive. It looks visually, it looks more like the Netflix
Yep.
series. The action looks a little bit more darker. It seems to have some comedy to it still. Christian Ritter is exciting to me. So give me through that first episode, and I think I might have some more feelings on it. But right now, I'm honestly just kind of like, cool. I'm waiting for something to come out, and this will be coming out, and I'm excited to watch something, I think is what it is.
Yeah. I would say that I fall very much in line with that. I would say that that's kind of like a six,
Why?
six and a
That doesn't make
half.
sense. It doesn't make sense to me. So I'm like almost not understanding my own self. Help me
I think
understand myself better.
I think it's because, like you were saying, it does feel a little bit more like it might be closer to the Netflix stuff, which I don't know if that's either a good or bad thing. But it also just because of that and because we've had a season, it feels like okay, we've seen this before. And because of how tightly I think it ties into what happened in the previous season, because again, this was supposed to be 18 episodes in a single season, that it kind of feels like I'm not anticipating major twists with it. I feel like I kind of know what it's going to do through it, and that just reduces my anticipation level.
S- yeah. I think one thing that I am looking forward to, I feel like that's going to be there, is that the action is going to be a little bit more fine-tuned. That's not even the right word. I think they're gonna bring it up a notch a
Yeah,
little bit. Just from the like even the little teaser trailer when he tosses the baton and nails that guy in the face. I mean, just
yeah,
that I was like, wow, okay, that's a great shot.
hmm,
I'm not talking like the physics of it. I'm talking like just the camera of it, right?
yeah,
So I'm excited for that. I did have a little bit, it did pique my interest a little bit when I kind of saw that they had mentioned the Ox.
hmm,
So the thing that Val was working on. So I'm
yeah,
like, okay, they're kind of starting to tie things in. So I'm wondering if they're going to kind of start blossoming, or maybe I should just say planting some of these things. And so it got me a little bit more curious about are we going to start seeing a little bit more tie-in with what's happening from the MCU, the movie side. I don't really foresee them digging too far into that, but
right.
at least
I mean, the the odds of them mentioning something about like the event of the Void or mentioning, say, a new Avengers, something like that, I think there's a chance. But it's mainly going to be a mention that these things exist in the world.
do you think do you think Val could cross over?
Oh, Val is the character who is most likely to cross over.
Like it kind of fits, right?
Hmm.
I mean, she played both the movie side and this TV series side, so it's very possible. I feel I would like to maybe see that interaction as well.
Yeah.
Even like because I think there's talk of Wesley coming back. I think it'd be even kind of cool if we saw Val like
Wesley Crusher?
yes. Is that a wrestler?
No, that's Will Wheaton's character from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh, lost me totally on that one. I'm so sorry.
It's
I'm
not
not a
Stephen
Trekkie.
Flo.
No, I was saying Wesley, the guy in the Netflix series, if you would have watched it,
Hmm.
right? Karen Page actually ends up, spoiler alert, shooting this guy. But Fisk is kind of right, hits his right hand man, Wesley.
Okay.
So I could see maybe and there's talk of this Wesley character coming back. He'd have to be in a flashback, not to spoil it too much. But Val and him doing some conversations behind the scenes, I can see something like that, and they're kind of laying a little bit of groundwork, especially for what Red Hook, is that what it is?
Yeah, Red
That
Hook neighborhood.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
sure. It, that is kind of one of my questions. Are there any surprise cameos, character introductions, things like that? So like Wesley coming back or Val showing up.
mm,
I do think both of those have a chance.
I don't think we're gonna get
I don't think we get Luke Cage. I don't think
no.
we're gonna get.
Luke Cage is like that to me is last episode slash post credit maybe or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
That's so, but outside of that, it's not like a Elena thing would show up. She wouldn't show up. Who else is
Hmm.
ground level that would be? I mean, David Tennant. Who knows what he's gonna do?
Purple Man. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say I think it is tough to come up with other street level characters that would make sense for them to introduce.
Mr. Negative.
No, that's Sony.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. That's the issue. Is some of these you look at it and like, ooh, that'd be fun, but it's Sony.
Is there anybody that is in that mega list of villains that is not Sony that they
No, everybody that has
shared?
been mentioned would be, I believe, fully Sony. Tombstone, Scorpion, Now, could you pull in, say, an Electra
Mm,
return? Or what is it? The Hand?
yeah.
I think
Ooh,
intro
Madam. Well, I don't know her name. Madam.
Madam
Ah,
Hydra? No.
no, no.
I mean,
Uh,
she is one of the heads of the Hand at various points in time, but Madame Trousseau. No, wait,
yes. Yeah, there she is. Madam Gao.
Madame Gao. Okay.
Yeah. I loved her character in that show you didn't watch. Oh, wait, was she in Iron Fist too? You didn't watch Iron Fist either, did you?
No, I did not.
That's fair. That's fine. I'm upset about Daredevil, but
I'm only gonna watch Iron Fist.
you should and just stand by it. Just plant your feet in that position and be like, you know what? That's right. I freaking watched that show. I watched Iron Fist and none of the other Defenders.
hmm
So,
I still do want to watch them at some point in time. It is just, thankfully, Marvel gives us plenty of stuff to watch.
do they?
Uh, in the
Sorry.
past year, yeah,
I'm
there was a
struggling right now with the show, so I'm really looking. I need some content.
we haven't had anything in a little bit. Like the fact Wonder Man all dumped all at once, that created kind of a little bit of a gap. But up until the end of Marvel's Zombies, we had a very packed year last year.
I mean, to me, every once a show ends, 2 week buffer, and then give me something else. Burn me out, is what I'm saying. Just burn me out, Marvel. I'm good at it because
I
it is
mean,
my reality escape right now.
yeah,
The pit
yeah.
doesn't do it for me. It makes me just more anxious.
So, do you think that Fisk is going to still be mayor at the end of this season?
I think that's going to end. I think they're going to shift him back into more of that underground.
Mob boss.
Yeah. Um,
But how underground can he actually go
Not super.
now that
Not
he's been...
Yeah, that's true. I'm not talking like he's not going to be heard of or seen. I just think
Right.
that he'll fall out of the political realm, kind of go
Yes.
back to
Yeah.
what we mainly know him as. But somehow he's got to be kind of not held accountable.
hmm
And
Yeah, that's going to be the trick, is how do you hold him not accountable? Does he
uh,
set up
just
uh
apply whatever political rules we have right now. It's pretty safe to say.
I was going to say, I'm assuming he makes his what's Gandolfini
Oh,
uh
not Eddie. Eddie? No.
no, I can't remember that character's name, but I that character definitely seems like the character who's going to take the fall
Yeah. Oh,
if he
yeah.
gets
I'm trying to type.
so.
Sorry,
I
I'm pulling them up.
I tend to think that, yeah, Fisk is not going to be mayor, and honestly, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I think it's time to move on from that.
hmm
And Daniel Blake, is that his name? Daniel Blake? Why doesn't that sound?
Maybe.
That doesn't seem right, but it is Michael Gandolfini's. It's him. Anyways,
Yeah, deputy mayor of communications.
Deputy Mayor of Communication. Let's see what else I
Appar-
got.
Apparently, there's a uh, Marvel character named Dan Blake who is a Martian spy who disguised himself as human astronaut Dan Blake in order to prevent humans from reaching his race on Mars. I
Perfect little spin-off show
Yeah,
right there.
Tales of Astonishing, number 25 from 1961. That is the first appearance of this character. And I know that that'd be hilarious if they were like, yeah, he's actually an alien.
Could you imagine? It's kind of like almost like the ending of WandaVision where like, the scroll comes, it'd be like at the end of this season, he just I don't know, just ends up getting in his spaceship and then just like flying away after like he reveals himself. And everybody's just like, what the hell is that? Like what just happened? And then that's it. They don't even like explain it. It's just a deep cut reference on that one.
hmm That would be, honestly, that would be wonderful. And it's really funny if they did that. I hope they don't, but now that I know it's a thing, part of me hopes they do.
Right. So is the same, this is random, sorry, I just was looking at the cast. Is Vanessa in the actor playing her, which is Alet Zur?
hmm
Is she returning again for a third
Yes.
season? Yeah,
Third season, I don't know.
but this one for sure.
Yes.
I don't know. I just thought that maybe she had. I thought I heard something about her not coming back, but I might just be making that up. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess that is a question. Could anybody die of importance besides
uh,
Daniel Blake? Heather
uh,
Glenn, I mean,
I was just gonna say Heather Glenn's character. She's.
but
I don't know what you do with her otherwise.
I mean, you just kind of write her out.
Yeah, I don't know if you
It's
need to kill her, but I could
yeah.
see her getting killed. Um,
There's nobody, I mean, Kingpin's wife is the other easy option. Like if she
oh,
dies, he uses that as a moment to step down from mayor and kind of go into hiding. And that's how he avoids punishment.
I could see that maybe being something that flips him, and he's no longer going to be in the political process because as much as he's able to manipulate it, he can't just reign supreme and do whatever he wants.
Yep.
So I could see him pulling back and going back into his role that way. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, oh, but I just love Vanessa and his relationship too much, so I
Oh,
don't
it's
really
so
want
good.
that. I don't really want that. Um,
Yeah, I want to say she does die or is assumed dead in the comics at least once.
so IMDb has the cast, right? Charlie
Yep.
Cox, 18 episodes, 2025 through 2027. Vincent D'Onofrio, 16 episodes, 2025 to 2026. And then we kind of keep going on the list. Deborah Wall is there. We Vanessa Fisk's character, though, she is just listed for 8 episodes in 2025.
That'd be weird
Um,
if she's not back again.
Yes,
And I'm trying to
Sabrina.
think.
Oh wait, that's she's a detective, I think.
Yeah.
Cherry's not listed for 2026. He was just 7 episodes.
Now, take anything you see for 2026 with a grain of salt on IMDb at this point, because they're not going to release that information
That's true.
right away. Like if
Well, they got
that,
some of it, but
yeah. And
be,
they got some of it because they assume Charlie Cox is going to be in every episode.
right. But they're like G Janaea. There we go. Walton. BB Eldrick. She
Hmm.
is in it. She's got 16 episodes. She's kind of a smaller character, but Heather Glenn is also 16 episodes. So I agree with what you're saying. They are not going to expose
Well,
potential plot
yeah.
leaks or any of that.
And I would say even with those saying 16 episodes, I think that means they were confirmed they're going to be back for season two, and they weren't in 2 episodes from season one.
Yeah,
And they could not be in 4 episodes of season two, so the number might change drastically there.
right.
But because they were confirmed 100% for season two, then yeah. Trying to think other thoughts, questions here. Are there any worries that you have for this season?
Um, yeah, I guess maybe not for this season. I was kind of more, we can talk about this later, just set up for three and how that works being released in March of 2027,
Yep,
which is after
theoretically.
Doomsday. So I'm wondering
Hmm.
how they handle what happens after Doomsday in season three. So that doesn't pertain to the season two, like you're asking, but I thought it was still a interesting question.
Well, I do think that, honestly that could be a concern going into this is that they at the end of this try and address incursions or the bigger things that are happening in the universe because I don't think that that fits with what the show is trying to do.
Right. So,
So keep it grounded and kind of like we'll talk about it more after the show because we'll do an episode of the podcast on like, okay, where does this go next? But I'm not particularly worried about the fact that Doomsday is going to be out because I think they're just going to treat it like this is 2 weeks after the events of Daredevil Born Again season two, or this is 3 weeks, 4 weeks, like 6 months after that, and this is still before the events of Doomsday.
so okay. They're just going to keep in a time frame that so Doomsday hasn't really happened yet.
Right. And it could be even then like the end of season three, if because that is expected to come out March 2027, and the season three could end with the events of Doomsday. The If the universe ends, that could certainly be like a post-credit scene of like, okay, now we know precisely where this is on the timeline.
I think it'd be kind of cool if they get the Daredevil Born Again to the point where it's so dire for Matt at Daredevil, whoever, like it's almost like he's at a point of break, and then
Sweet release of the end of the universe.
yes, exactly. And it just like all of a sudden things just go white, or
Hmm.
whatever, or black or red, whatever you want it
Red.
to be.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like it kind of bails them out because it's almost like a cheap way out of the story, but at the same time it's kind of fun because you know what's coming down the pipe
Yeah.
in less than a year or like 9 months,
Yep.
because right from that point in time. So I I don't know. It would be kind of fun if they did it that way. That way it ties
Yeah.
in, but doesn't really take away from that story that they are trying to tell.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, my one concern is with them leaning maybe more, a little bit more into the Netflix style, is that they're going to lose some of what I thought they really developed with the likes of Cherry, with his partner from the bigger law firm. I forget what her name is.
Oh, yeah.
But
I just
just
had it up
some,
here.
yeah, just some of that. I think they may lose a little bit of the law side and maybe lose a little bit of that connection to people in some ways. And I don't want it to be just this, if it is this big war between Fisk and the vigilante heroes, you still have to ground it a lot in people. Otherwise, it's just going to be kind of a dud spectacle to me.
Sorry, I was on mute there for a second. Yes, I agree. There's a background noise happening I was trying to avoid. And so I also couldn't quite hear all that you said at the end there. So recap that last part, please.
I just don't want it to be kind of a dud action spectacle of a lot of violent fights with nameless, faceless goons of Fisks. Like there has to be the 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 step up in violence, the step up in maybe just the amount of fighting has to be done from a real character focused and like developmental point of how everybody comes together. It can't
Hmm.
just be it can't just be like Fisk and his army versus Daredevil and his army or mercenaries.
Right. I think one thing that the Netflix show did is there was a lot of substance, and the fights were sometimes really grandiose, but they were kind of few and oh, that's not true. You saw him get beat pretty bad oftentimes, but it wasn't like it was more of a grounding kind of, hey, this he's just got his ass kicked, right? Or so the fight scenes, it didn't seem like it was too heavy on that, but yes, I agree with what you're saying. Don't make it the ending smash up beating up two two groups just coming head to head. I want I want some of the
You need,
lawyer
yeah, you need the
courtroom
lawyer
stuff. I want
piece in
him
there still.
I want some of that personal anguish that he also went through, but um
I want him concerned about the new white tiger, like constantly.
yeah, like yeah, he you can just tell he's constantly trying to protect her,
Hmm.
Karen, the ghost of Foggy, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, hopefully they found that balance. I I feel like they could. It's the writer, producer, the Punisher, right? So I don't know that there's some really good people behind it, I think. So
Hmm.
that one doesn't concern me too much. Because maybe what you've heard about the Netflix series, the Daredevil Netflix series, maybe you might have heard that was. I mean, it is gory, and I don't
Hmm.
necessarily need that
Yeah.
to fill those the
And
season two.
yeah, I hope they don't overdo that for it. I will say with as far as I got into the first season of Daredevil, before I just kind of ran out of time and was like, all right, let me watch a recap of all the Defenders stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I felt like they were really slow burning the building of connections,
Hmm. True.
and it has to move faster than that.
Yes.
And like that's my big beef with the Netflix one is I felt like I watched, I can't remember again how many episodes it was, 4 or 5. It was like I'm a ways in here and we're kind of still just dinking around some, for lack
Yeah,
of a better term.
yeah. Um, it really got me into the struggle, I think, of Matt Murdock, and but it was a slow burn that I will
Mhm.
give you. So
It was a slow burn, and
not enough
I
payoff maybe for
I
it.
just needed him, yeah, to I needed some of his relationships to actually have started to develop. I didn't feel like I was caring about the characters yet.
Hmm.
And they were just spending too much of a slow burn on that. And that
Yeah.
might just be a everything needs to move a little bit faster these days to keep attentions, but some of it I think too is pacing wise
Yeah,
for me.
and I can't remember it well because it's been years since I've seen it. If it after those handful of episodes that you may watch did it catapult itself and start really picking up pace, I don't remember, so
Mhm.
but the concern is real. You don't want
Yeah.
that slow burn to be that
Yeah.
slow.
Yep. Anything that you're
Uh,
really, really hoping happens this season?
I don't know if I want to see them do any more like the one shot fight scenes.
Mhm.
As cool as they are, I don't think you need to top it. I don't think you need to mimic it. I think it's unnecessary, but I am looking forward to. I want to see him in the Netflix series. I think or was it the Netflix series where we actually saw him start rooftop to rooftop, like
Mm.
swinging and
Hmm.
some of that. I think that was in first season. I want to see that. I want to see some more. I do want to see some more of that hand-to-hand combat. I think what I'm going for is just really interesting action scenes.
Yeah.
And maybe some different use, especially batons or other objects that he's using. And then I want Jessica Jones to be something other than a bruiser. I
Hmm.
think I want her to contribute to the story in a way that isn't just about her punching and kicking.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Otherwise, I think looking forward to just more. I don't know. I think maybe I want him to kind of start really falling down in this story or in this season. Like Matt Murdock
Hmm.
really starts getting tripped up. Everything's kind of turned against him.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, I'm looking for that drama, I think.
Yeah. I'm looking, my kind of hope would be that we spend a good amount of time on this idea that of will Fisk or won't Fisk like fully unmask Daredevil and Matt as the same person. Because we've obviously seen that Matt is now kind of wanted from the trailers out thus far. So more of that Matt level struggle of his law firm is falling apart. The idea of him being a lawyer and being able to help people the way he has, that piece of his life, now that he's finally gotten or been willing to take the step back into the Daredevil side of things, that other side starts crumbling. And how does he do that? Because he's a good character since he's so grounded, much like a Spider-Man, where it's how do you balance both parts of your life?
The ultimate superhero question.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think oh, so I was kind of wondering,
Yes,
do you
correct.
feel like they are going to have any sort of connection to Brand New Day? Oh, yes, it is.
Oh no, they won't.
Nothing. You don't think,
I don't think so. From what it sounds like, Brand New Day isn't going to touch on Mayor Fisk or anything like that. Punisher isn't, from what it sounds like, going to be in Daredevil Born Again season 2. Like, that would be the one point of connection that I could see. But with how they set up the Punisher at the end of season 1, it really feels like the Punisher is going to go off and do his own thing, and that Matt kind of knows that with how the Punisher handles things versus with how Matt Daredevil handles things, they just really can't work side by side that well. And like in terms of fighting the way that they do,
yeah,
he can't be a part of Punisher's battles because he wouldn't want to.
yeah,
He's not mowing everybody down with a gun.
right. He's not slicing throats open. I think it just seems like they're so dang close. like
Mhm.
geographically? Like, are we talking
Yes.
like different boroughs here? Like it's
Oh, yeah. I mean,
miles from each other. Like, how does this not cross over? I
well, I think
especially
that
with all of like even if it's like something
I
in
think
mention of Mr. Negative's like the Aunt May's place. We already Feast. Is that what it was? I don't know, just something like that. Like just to make a connection. We've had Daredevil
sure.
show up
I
in
mean,
Spider-Man,
yeah,
so why not have a I don't need
a
Spider-Man to show up,
reference,
but
right? A reference to Feast could be interesting. Um,
I mean we have the Ox thing in there, so
yeah, Ox thing. Um,
and what are they going to do with that?
Probably not much.
You don't think so?
Uh, no, I think that feels like it's something put in there, and maybe they will. Maybe they'll do more of it because the whole idea of Ox was that Val is trying to burn it to the ground and kind of divest herself and separate herself from it because she's getting called into question on everything. So it could, I guess it could be something more because it could be some shady individual, could be Kingpin, who buys up the remains of Ox. And so it could be
Yeah.
something like that.
Who was Val's little helper that
Oh,
I can't think of her name.
can't think of her name either. The one who Adibiri was going to play and then didn't.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, who is Songbird?
Yeah.
Yeah. I I mean, Songbird's a great option to have as a crossover thing too.
Yeah.
Like she's now taken over some of Ox, or like taking over control of stuff out from underneath yeah,
You
Val.
know, just
So
because like she's it kind of feels like it's gonna be a not a mole, but it's like a double agent almost for a while.
yeah,
So I still can't find her name.
the actor's name.
Oh there she is. I got her. Geraldine, she played Mel was her
Yeah,
character's name.
Mel. Yep.
Geraldine Viswanathan.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. I
I could see something like that maybe.
Yep. Actually, that'd be an interesting thing to have be something that sets up a season three.
Her and Daniel maybe talking
Her and Daniel talking,
before he turns into an alien.
well, obviously, but no, I think more so
Oh,
that
and then he gives her song powers. That's how she
yes, the
gets her
alien.
powers. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
No, that's definitely not what I was thinking.
oh,
But I could see being like, okay, if Kingpin is taking a step back into more of the crime boss role, she's probably fallen flat on his face a little bit from the whole mayoral debacle and his mercenary group, that some organization would kind of come in to swoop up some of his folks or to fill in some space there in Red Hook, something like that. And Ox and Songbird could be interesting characters for that. The Hand could be interesting characters for that, things like that.
Ooh, I'd love the Hand to come back in at the end of the season or show up sometime.
Hmm.
Madame Gal, like I said. Yeah, I don't know. I talking about it a little bit more gets me a little bit more hyped, but still
Yeah.
just kind of neutral, oddly
Yeah.
enough.
I'm excited for it at the level of, like you were saying, this is very much I'm ready to have some more Marvel, like new Marvel stuff. And Wonder Man was amazing.
Yeah,
A phenomenal
absolutely.
show. But we could binge it, and we did. And
So,
so,
speaking of, is it are they dropping an episode a week
yes.
for Daredevil? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I couldn't
So we
remember
have
what they
like
were
9
doing.
weeks of it. Maybe it might be, I mean, they haven't officially said yet. We don't even have the titles of the episodes
I
yet.
wonder if that'll be at the investor call. Maybe they'll drop
That
those.
is probably a big investor call thing. And I won't be surprised if they drop 2 episodes to start.
Yeah, I was kind of gonna say the same thing.
And so then
I
we'd
was gonna say
have
the same thing.
8 weeks of it. No, you weren't. You were going to say they were going to drop two and a
I
half
was gonna say
episodes
it.
start.
I was gonna say
Uh,
promise.
yeah. One final question here. And this is actually where I thought you were going to go at one point in time when you made a comment, but you were talking about kind of a one-off sort of thing. Um, but do we have any of those, like a filler, not a filler, but a bottle episode
Oh,
like we did?
nah. I think they're gonna stay away from that if they any way they possibly can.
Mhm.
As much as people kind of liked that
I
bottle episode.
loved that bottle episode. That was one of my favorite episodes.
Um, it's kind of like I feel like it's an all or nothing kind of thing. You got to either do it like that, or I could if it was actually going to be 18 episodes and they did like a couple bottle ones in there, uh, sure. But I think
Hmm.
that that is off the table now. They do not want that inconsistent feeling to occur with the viewers because I think that that really interrupted the main storyline for
Hmm.
the 8 episodes that came out over in
9.
season 1. So I'm gonna say no. I think they're gonna keep it grounded in the main kind of story arc they want to tell.
I agree, though I wouldn't mind if there was one. I'm not sure how you would necessarily do it, but because even this one that or the one that occurred in the previous season did tie just a tiny bit in.
Well, what was it? What was the tie-in? I don't even remember.
Because it was that one gang who was starting to rise up
Oh,
again, and I think then Fisk took out the guy or had him taken out for him overstepping his bounds. But you have to have a real good story for that. I could see it being like an episode where instead of it being about the war that's going on the streets, it's just an episode where it's Matt having to defend himself in the court of law and kind of
sure.
a, a very like this is just 100% lawyer focused. This feels a little bit separate from everything else, but it's still tied into the fact that he's trying to keep himself separate from Daredevil so Daredevil can do Daredevil's work.
If they're gonna do an episode like that, I think it's the writing has to be really good. The
Oh,
dialogue has to be really good and really on point
yes.
for it to be accepted. But if they, so kind of stepping back a little bit here, thinking if they were to do a couple bottle episodes that seem like bottle episodes, but there's actual tie-in to it, so it's almost like we have another main goal or focus, right? In that, I mean, the kind of the definition of what these bottle episodes are, but they do contribute to the main story that they're trying to tell and to give information that they're trying to give, whether it be about a gang around or like a
Hmm.
certain person. But it does interweave in with that. They just do it in a bottle episode form. To me, that's interesting.
Yeah. Another example of it would be what if we had an episode that is all about BB Urich and her like on the streets in this war that's happening between these two groups, and it's just viewing it from a perspective of how this is affecting everybody, how it's affecting the people, how it's affecting the city, not just the evil Fisk
Mhm.
mercenaries versus the ragtag Daredevil mercenary group.
Yeah, again, if it can expand on what is happening around that area and the
Hmm.
effect of whatever maybe Fisk is, the effects of whatever Fisk is doing, the effects it has on the people, it it creates depth
It
to the
built.
story that
Hmm.
can help really when they start to focus back in on Daredevil or whoever, it brings a more urgency to whatever is happening.
Right. Well, and I think from the Daredevil side of things, it could show up how Daredevil's team of people are taking it too far at times or impacting the average person's life in a way that isn't intended. And that could be something that Matt Daredevil has to kind of come to realize and reconcile at some point in time. But as the audience, we've already seen what's happening, and so now we're waiting for Daredevil to see the same thing.
Yeah, it you're going to a different perspective on something that's happened, and I think it's almost like we're always on the side of Daredevil, but to actually maybe be flipped and we have a different perspective on it, then we're like, oh,
Hmm.
this is where, and not to be on like Fisk's side or
No.
whatever villain, but to actually just be on a, hey, this is affecting these people or this person in this way. And that can then show you some of the torment that maybe Matt Murdock slash
Yeah,
Daredevil goes through, right?
exactly.
In his own head. So yeah,
Hmm.
could work. And that's
So,
again, that's writing. That's like
mhm.
storytelling.
That's I mean, they can make it as Netflix in terms of action and gore as they want, but if the writing
Yeah.
isn't there, it's going to suck,
Mhm.
to put it bluntly. So, yeah, that was just a final question I had there. Let us know how excited you are for the show. I mean, coming out just, what, 9 days from now? Something like that?
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
I forgot.
But coming out real soon. Drop a comment on the YouTube video for this, or Greg, let you know where you can find us on the socials.
I did.
We do really appreciate everybody checking out the podcast. If you enjoyed this content, again, we really appreciate all the support that you give us. Please share it with a friend, leave a rating, review, give the YouTube video a thumbs up, leave a comment. All of those things, we love it when it happens. And with that, see you next time.
Take care, everybody.